Good morning! Ouch! Holy wow! I got hit sticked. Good morning, Roll Gang, and welcome on inside to a brand new episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. And I honestly do mean brand new. Today's got a brand new format.
Brand new hairstyle.
Brand new hairstyle. You know, the Weekday Wake and Bake flow. Got the bedhead going this morning. So good to see you, Roll Gangsters. And my beautiful co-host, Rachel. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I have a coffee, so nothing to complain about.
Yeah, nothing to complain about. Got some coffee and some weed here on the Weekday Wake and Bake, as per the usual. So good to see you guys. So this morning is a very special episode of the show. The first ever Wednesday. What would you do Wednesday? So, some of my favorite philosophical discussions surround a story and a problem where we decide what we would do in that given situation. So that's what we are going to do on What Would You Do Wednesdays. From here on out, we're going to come up with a little philosophical debate with you guys. I'm going to preface the story, then Rachel is going to share what she would do, and I would share what I would do. But most importantly, the Roll Gangsters have the opportunity to share what they would do. So really fucking excited to do the first ever What Would You Do Wednesday here on today's episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. Are you pumped?
Yeah, it reminds me of that one show, where they have like a social experiment happening in the restaurant, and then that guy comes out and he's like, I'm Ginny something or whatever, and you're on. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, what is it like a game show or something?
No, it's like a social experiment type of thing. Like they'll have this family eating dinner in a restaurant and other families are all around, and then like they're telling the kid like they can only get this one thing because they're not their real child, they adopted them or something, and then like sees how the outside people react to the situation. Or like somebody will be sitting there, they'll be on a date and he's calling
like it's planned
fat or something, or being rude,
and they're seeing what like normal people would do about it. Yeah, exactly. Honestly,
that's what it reminds me.
That's a really similar one. That's like if this was the whole premise of the show. I actually really like that idea. I should watch that sometime. But yeah, just kind of gonna raise a philosophical question, a little moral debate, if you will, and see what the Roll Gangsters think as well. But before we get on into today's What Would You Do puzzle, gotta give a major shout out to the sponsors of the show, because they make it happen for the Weekday Wake and Bake and help out the Roll Gangsters along the way. First and foremost,
WWnB University, the first ever cannabis college where you can go and gain your cannabis knowledge. You can use Rolling Spoon for 10% off your tuition. You can learn all about growing at home. You can learn about the industry. You can learn about the plant and everything that is involved with it, all the terpenes and everything.
The cannabinoids.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to be wrong.
You didn't want to pronounce it wrong. Yeah, that was actually great though. So my proud alma mater, that's my highest level of education, WWnB University, the first ever cannabis college to boost your cannabis knowledge. Don't forget about promo code Rolling Spoon to get 10% off your tuition over at WWnB. And this episode is also brought to you by
the Rolling Spoon, the most efficient way to procure your cannabis. It's an all-in-one multi-tool that helps you seal the deal and roll a dime every time.
Hell yeah. So I'm about to seal the deal and roll up a quick dime of some Oreos Would absolutely love to know what you guys are smoking on this morning. All the Roll Gangsters tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It is so great to see you guys every weekday morning and have the opportunity to sesh with you guys. Oh, bless you.
I sneeze so much here.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It cleanses your airways.
Yeah.
But anyways, really fucking thankful for all the Roll Gangsters tuning in everywhere. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. We go live every weekday morning with some brand new cannabis content just to chop it up with the Roll Gangsters and smoke up. Because after all, it is stoner law. What's the stoner law, Rachel?
If you have a woke, you have to have a smoke.
We're blessed to have a smoke. You don't have to. You're a great example that you don't have to. You're working your way back. I don't know, someday. But today in particular, I am very, very thankful to have opened my eyes for another day. And I choose to have a smoke just to give myself the balance I need for today and help me maintain my my mindset trying to tackle this brand new day. I hope all the Roll Gangsters consuming this are doing the same, having a nice smoke or not having a smoke, but getting recharged for the day because we are blessed to have a woke. We are blessed for the opportunity to have a smoke. So I'm going to spark this baby up and get on into our first philosophical discussion here on
Sounds good.
What Would You Do Wednesday episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. That's a lot of W's. Really like that.
It is.
Alright, so the first episode of What Would You Do Wednesday. I'm going to spark this up and get on into the story that we have for you today. So we have these two friends, Justin and Jeremy. And Justin and Jeremy, they're individual. They don't know each other yet. They're both very happy and great gay individuals. And we thought that they would be a really great match together. You know, Justin is one of those really smart, almost nerdy. You can't do that, Rachel. We gotta get the bone from the squeaker bone from the animal really quick. Love you, Mr. Vin. We gotta do that. Rachel's out here playing with the fucking animals during the show.
I feel bad.
No, that's not even a what would you do. You're doing a live show and the animal brings you a bone, you're gonna play with it?
It's live.
No, what would you do? You have to pay attention.
I would love him and play with him.
No, you can't. You can't. No more of that shit. Not during the show. But, so anyways, Justin and Jeremy, these two dope friends of ours. Justin is kinda nerdy, smart, cool, but, a little bit reserved. You know, not quite as fun and outgoing as, Jeremy is. Jeremy's the one who's super energetic and almost like a good time. One of those people that you just know are a good time whenever you get to hang out with them. And the one thing about Jeremy is he is always late. So basically a half hour, 15 minutes, no matter what, you have never asked Jeremy, your friend Jeremy, to hang out, and he wasn't late. So we are trying to set up this date, right? And trying to get them to hang out with each other, but they're kind of their perfect match. You're really fucking excited for them to meet each other, and it's really important for you that they get the opportunity to meet and have this date. So the philosophical question I have for you today, perfect match, you know, both are friends, both very deserving of love. but it gives the best opportunity for them to meet each other if we tell Jeremy that the date is a half hour before the actual date. So we're setting up this date. Justin's in agreement. He's going to be there at 7. Do we tell Jeremy that the date is at 6:30 so that he's there by 7? Do we lie to him and tell him it's 6:30? Or do we tell the truth and, he's probably going to end up being late to it? What would you do?
I don't know.
Oh, geez, Rachel. Did you get all distracted by the dog situation? Yeah. Well, you have to answer the question. It's okay. You have to fight through.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think that lying and saying that it's at 6:30 is bad if you're trying to get somebody that's always late to show up on time. But I also think it's important for the person going on the date to know the characteristics of the person, and if being late is one of them, that could lead into relationship issues down the road. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know.
So Mercedington is tapping in and saying 30 minutes early. I honestly, I think I agree with that. So if it's really important to me that Justin and Jeremy get the opportunity to meet and see if they like each other. I would not have an easy time accepting the fact that I knew Jeremy is always late, and because I didn't tell him a different time, they ended up not hitting it off because Jeremy was super late to the event. We got Dana Pet says Puppy and Kitten will be fine till the end of the show. Sweet roll gang. I can hear them frolicking. Yeah, no, honestly, they are frolicking. It's fucking crazy. They run around all the time, and we got to take a little break, a breather to do the show with the roll gangsters. But so my answer to this, what would you do Wednesday, is I would be in favor of the little white lie to Jeremy. Tell him that the date is at 6:30 so that he and Justin can meet at 7. If Jeremy is well aware, maybe he is on time. In worst case scenario, he's on time and he thinks that Justin is the person that's late. And I think that they would at least still have an opportunity to meet and hit it off. But if Jeremy were late and we didn't lie, then you never know if they would have ever met in the first place. So I think in this scenario, I would probably do the immoral justice of lying, wouldn't you?
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's important that people stay true to who they are whenever they're trying to get into relationships and date, and I don't necessarily know if lying is the best way. But it's not like a huge, horrible lie.
They're not lying to each other. It's me that would get in trouble. Right? Or you. Would you tell them a lie, or would you tell them the truth?
I might tell him to be there at a different time.
Yeah. So you would lie.
I don't know. That just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, the devil's advocate would say lying is always wrong. Like if you're lying to manipulate the beginning of the relationship, then they're doomed to fail. You know what I mean? Because if you have to lie for their first date to go smooth, then maybe they're not meant to be at all. It's a really great philosophical debate. I absolutely love debating with you, Rachel. Ask him not to be late. It's important to prioritize the matchup. And then Mercedes says true. An appreciation of your masterful intuition. He owes it to himself to be on time. And Mercedes says, I think 15 minutes would be a better lie, like maybe a 6:45 lie instead of a 6:30. 6:30 seems too long. I actually agree with that. I'd probably be somewhere in the middle. 10, 15 minute lie, not a whole half hour lie, but honestly, philosophically, telling the truth is in the utmost importance, but whenever a lie leads to more happiness overall than the truth, it's hard to argue that a lie would be better, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and safely say we would both probably lie at least to a certain extent to help this date go off without a hitch. But really appreciate all the Roll Gangsters, Dana Pett and Mercedes manning the chat today. Absolutely love you guys and helping out with our first ever What Would You Do Wednesday. We're definitely gonna get better at it. We're gonna keep improving, but absolutely love all the Roll Gangsters tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys are all the shit. Welcome on into the Weekday Wake and Bake. I mean, I guess welcome on out at this point, but love you guys so much. Every weekday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, with your latest and greatest cannabis content. Tomorrow is Canon News Thursday. Can't miss that. An opportunity to get up to date on the latest and greatest cannabis news stories from around the globe. Love you guys, Roll Gangsters. We'll see you tomorrow.